Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Apple has officially announced iOS 18 and it looks like the leaks and rumors were true because this is one of the biggest iPhone software updates we've seen in a very long time. Kind of brings back memories to when iOS 7 got released. It does seem that Apple went all out this year for the new iOS. We got some new features, new customization options, and of course the AI magic inside. Let me break down some of the new features and everything you need to know. Let's get right into it. Just like the opening to this year's event, it felt like Apple flew through all of these announcements, and most of these are pretty cool things. So let me give you highlights of the big stuff and what stood out to me. One of the big rumors that has now been confirmed is that Apple is focusing heavily this year on customization. There's a lot of areas of customization all over the iPhone. Now, for all you Android users, please take this moment to take a deep breath and maybe don't be a keyboard warrior. Just let the iPhone have its time to shine. To start off, on your home screen, you can now move app icons anywhere around the screen you like. This is super cool and long awaited. As you can see here, I can move my apps in any direction that I want and just kind of place them anywhere I want. Now, you can't truly put them in the middle of the screen. It's still kind of stuck to a grid format here, but that is way more customization than iPhone has ever had. You can also tap on Edit and Customize, and you will get this new menu right down here. Here you have the option to let the system automatically dim and lighten your apps, or you can go dark mode altogether or light mode altogether. Maybe I didn't pick a good page. Let me go back to the main page and then tap on Edit, Customize, and here you can see this is a way better option. So you can make them all dark. You can make them all light. You can also have this option to do a tint. So this will let you do any color that you want. This is kind of to match a particular wallpaper that you might have. Or if you have a favorite color, you can now make all your apps kind of stand out in that way. You can also kind of darken the background so your apps stand out a little bit more using this right here, this little sun icon right there. Or if you want to pick a color from a particular area, which that glitched. So you can see this is a beta version, so just beware. You also have the option to make your icons large, which will make the icons larger, but you will lose the name of the app, or small, as I prefer. Control Center is also getting a nice revamp with a more Vision OS inspired design. More circular icons and kind of translucent. The buttons seem a little bit smaller, and like the home screen, there is way more customization here. You now have the ability to swipe through different things you want to control, and third-party apps can add their own shortcuts in Control Center. You would just tap on the plus button and kind of tap down here to add control, and you can see that there's endless customization options for the Control Center, and you no longer have to go into the settings in order to change any of this. You can also make these larger or smaller depending on your preference, and you can move them around as you please. And get this, you now have the option to switch out the flashlight and camera options on the lock screen. You can just kind of tap on Customize down here, tap on Lock Screen, and you can remove them all together if you would prefer that. Just tap on Done, and you can see no icons at all down there. But if you do have a certain app or a setting that you more frequently use, you might want to add that there. Let's say, for example, you take a lot of flights and you need airplane mode to be there quickly. Now you can just tap and hold and you're in airplane mode without having to unlock your phone or open Control Center. That's just a little bit of a quicker option for those of you that have a particular app that you use more. And yes, I can already predict what some of the comments are going to be like, but like I said earlier, let's just let the iPhone have its time to shine. Apple is also doubling down on privacy in iOS 18. You now have the ability to lock certain apps behind Face ID, Touch ID, or passcode authentication. If you don't want anyone getting into a particular app, you can also hide that app altogether, so it doesn't show anywhere in your home screen, only in a secure folder that you have to unlock. If you tap and hold on the App Store, you'll see this option right down here that says Require Face ID. And then you'll have to say, yes, I want to require Face ID in order to open that. So now when I tap on it, it'll kind of read my face and then let me in. And as I mentioned earlier, you now have this hidden folder right down here for all the apps that you don't want anyone to see. You can just tap on it and then it'll kind of read your face and then it would be unlocked. Messages are also getting some nice updates. You have the ability to tap back with any emoji that you want, which is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and navigate to there. So you can just tap and hold on anything you want to tap back on. And as you can see here, there's the new reactions that you have. Plus, you can tap on the emoji icon and go into your emoji menu. There's also some new text effects, and you can go through this and kind of explore which ones you like. You can underline stuff, you can cross them out. So that is really cool. And it doesn't have to be for the whole text. It can just be for a word or a section of your text. You also have the ability to now schedule a text message so you can send later. Once again, something that a particular competitor has had for a while, and something that Jerry Rig Everything mentioned as one of those reasons he could never switch to an iPhone. I don't know, maybe he had something to do with this. Apple's always listening, so Jerry, please, if you can keep complaining, we might get some new features on iPhone. Also, satellite messages support is here. Not sure if that's for emergency purposes only, but it's here for SMS and iMessage via SOS satellite mode on iPhone 14 or newer. There are refinements to the Mail app, Maps app, Wallet app, and the Photos app got the biggest redesign ever. It looks more refined, I guess, and Apple is using some intelligence to give you better suggestions and better categorize things. As of right now, I don't particularly like it, but I'll play with some of the customization options and let you know how it goes. If we just kind of navigate into the Photos app, you will see how the library shows up now. So it should give you suggestions about recent days, people's pets, anything that you regularly do, trips that you've taken, all that good stuff. But if you scroll all the way down, you'll see this new customize option right down here. And you can reorganize anything you want here and add and delete stuff from your customization folders. So I'll play around with it some and see how it goes. Like I mentioned, I don't like it right now, maybe because I think it's going to take more work than I want to put in. But also, maybe this is something that the Apple Intelligence is going to take on its own later down in the iOS 18 update. All right, let's move on. Apple didn't mention this, but at the very end, with the slide of everything in iOS 18, RCS support is there. Yes, RCS support will be there in iOS 18, so you'll have better messaging support with your Android friends. We have a dedicated standalone password app, which will have all your passwords in here for all your different accounts, your passkeys, Wi-Fi passwords, all that good stuff, and even give you recommendations on stuff that you should change. Now, it only took 14 years for the iPad to finally have a calculator app, but there it is. And it could be very simple, just like that, or you can tap on this little calculator icon right down here and bring up the scientific calculator and, most importantly, math notes. And math notes are this new thing that Apple came up with on the iPad, and I'm just going to set my iPad down. Hopefully you guys can see that. And if I just add or subtract numbers, it'll give me an automatic result. So let's say 2 plus 2 equals 4. And it'll even give it to you in like some sort of your handwriting or an imitation of your handwriting. So let's go 2 times 2 just for simplicity form. And there you have it. So this is pretty cool. I'm really wanting to play with it because it could actually do complex equations and actually give you graphs and stuff like that. So that's super cool. So that's all great and all. But what happened to all those rumors about AI, Apple harnessing this special collaboration with different companies? What happened to that? Well, Apple kind of saved that to the end. They introduced their own version of AI, which is not named artificial intelligence, but as the rumor suggested, in Apple's very own way, they called it Apple Intelligence. And why not? This is a new AI framework that works across all new OSs, iPadOS, iOS 18, macOS, and it's basically an overhaul of AI across Apple devices. They're doing this in a way that is very personal, so it understands you and your friends and your family in context, but it's also private, way more safe and secure than other large language models online. Apple's going to do this with a combination of special silicon cloud computing with Apple Silicon, and a lot of stuff is going to happen on device as well. Apple's going to intelligently move that stuff around while keeping everything fluid, safe, secure, and private. So you're not handing your information over to some random server online. So Apple used a lot of words to try to describe this, but what does it actually mean and how does it actually work? Well, let's use Siri as an example. And even Apple admitted that this is a new era of Siri. This is a major overhaul and redesign per se. Siri is harnessing the power of modern AI tools so you can naturally talk to it, and it's contextually aware and personally knows you, your contacts, and your files. So you can say something like, "Hey Siri, pull up that podcast my friend recommended to me." And she should theoretically be able to tell you, "Hey, this is what I found from the other day from X friend." Or you can say something like, "Show me the photos of this person at this certain location." Basically, it's way more intelligent, as the name suggests, and it's able to do way more things, not just feed you answers, but also do things within apps as well. To be clear, Apple Intelligence is an overarching term for different AI things across multiple Apple devices. It's not just a new Siri, but a way smarter Siri that can do way more things, powered by this new Apple Intelligence, which can do different things across all your Apple devices. For example, if you want help generating text, refining a Word document, or summarizing things, those typical AI tasks, it will be built in here as well. And you can use this system to generate images in different Apple apps, and even third-party apps can utilize Apple Intelligence in interesting ways. It provides better context within the Mail app, and your notifications will prioritize who is more important to you and what to show you. The demos are pretty cool and compelling and suggest that Apple being late to the game might not have been a bad thing at all. If the demos are true to life and Apple can pull this off, this could be a really big deal and change the way we use our iPhones, iPads, Macs, and even the Vision Pro. Finally, ChatGPT support is going to be built into Siri, making Siri way better. We'll have to wait and see how well and fluid it works. No new hardware this time around, but I'm sure there are more new products coming soon. And just as a side note, if you don't want to experience poor battery life, bugs, apps not working, and crashing, do not download and install any of these betas. Let me say that again. If you don't want an unstable iPhone, do not do this. Beta 1 is generally really buggy, so take that as your word of warning. And even as the public beta comes out, I generally would not recommend putting that on your daily iPhone. If you have a test iPhone that will support iOS 18, then I would install it there, but not on your daily user. Alright guys, I'm curious. What are your thoughts on iOS 18? If you have an Android phone, is this kind of swaying you into an iPhone? Or if you're an iPhone owner, are you impressed by this? Do you think Apple did enough in the AI front to make this a worthy update? And if you have an older iPhone, does this make you want to get the newer iPhone to take full advantage of all the special features? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.